right, Jose. I'm gonna need you to calm me down on this one, man, because in the last 24 hours, I've seen my Giants lose 9-2. I saw my Longhorns lose 55-48 after giving up a 21-point lead. And then I had to sit down on a Sunday afternoon and watch that performance by the Niners. So to say that my sports fanhood has really been tested this weekend is to say a lot. How are you doing, man? How are you doing on a Sunday?
Well, to focus a little bit more on the positive, to kind of help you out there, Juju, we're going to focus on that defense. How about that defensive performance by the San Francisco 49ers
Woo,
being able to
D'Amico
contain?
Ryans. Woo!
Let's go,
through.
man. It gave us flashes of that 2019 defense, right?
Is he the best coach on the staff?
I mean, he was the best coach on the staff today. I will say that. He definitely was. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, that offensive performance was pretty abysmal. I don't care if you have a rookie quarterback, any quarterback that's playing in the NFL, you should be able to produce more than what the Niners did there in that first half. That was just absolutely pathetic. I understand the kid hasn't played a game since January 11th, 2020, but I mean, you had a whole week to prepare. Basically, since when Jimmy Garoppolo went down basically right before halftime of last week's game, you knew that this was going to be Trey Lance's game. So you had a whole week to prepare at least something creative to get the defense thinking. And it seemed like they were just so unprepared to what the Cardinals were doing on defense. But the Niners defense did look great, though. I will say that it was actually good to see them being able to contain this offense that really nobody has been able to contain all year. Not even the Rams last week. They ran all over the Rams. But this Niners defense was actually able to contain them for majority of the game. But, you know, with the guy with the Kyler Murray and the explosiveness that team has, it was just a matter of time before him and DeAndre Hopkins were going to hook up for a big play, and that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, shout out to Diontae Johnson with a big fumble late. Almost gave the Niners a chance there. I do have questions what Jimmy Ward was doing on that one DeAndre Hopkins catch where he was just kind of like staring at him. I was thinking to myself, come on, go for it. It's right there, ball hawk. Is it, it's a bad day when you actually want your offense to punt on fourth down, when you're actually hoping that they punt on fourth down. That's what it started to turn into, because 1 for 5 on our fourth down conversion attempts there. And there was one sequence also where it just felt like, I'm sure there's going to be a holding. There has to be a holding. There was 3 holding penalties called on one drive, and 2, I believe, were on Mike McGlinchey. You just can't keep doing that to yourself. Every time there's like a opportunity to get a first down or a big play, it just seemed like there was some yell on the field. And I think that might be a problem in terms of the Niners being able to play with a mobile quarterback. But also, if you are going to play with a mobile quarterback, the play calling just has to be better, man. Like this little shotgun read up the middle stuff that they were doing, it just doesn't seem as dynamic or explosive as other mobile quarterback offenses that we've seen in the league, other read option quarterbacks. They were trying to do like a Lamar Jackson light, but when I say light, really light, because it's clear. I mean, I like Trey. He was my draft crush as far as like out of the quarterback prospects when I knew we traded up to 3. But through watching him these last couple of weeks, what I've noticed is, yes, he's athletic. Yes, he can get out of the pocket, but he is not Lamar Jackson in terms of the athleticism, and I think that's where I want to see him develop more as a passer. And the fact that he almost had as many pass attempts as he did rush attempts, I think is a little bit concerning as far as the long-term vantage point of like his career. Yeah, I think it was a very discouraging day to kind of like see how Kyle was calling this one. And just got to be more dynamic. Like, we give Kyle so much credit here, and he's just started to lose a lot of that equity with me over the last 3 weeks. How, at this point, can we say, do we have the 4th best coach in the division? Because it's starting to feel like that, because Sean McVay and Pete Carroll are definitely ahead of him. And say what we want about Cliff. We made fun of Cliff over the last couple of years, but now he has his team undefeated 5-0, and the Niners, we don't know what the hell we're going to do over the next year, 2 years.
You know what? That's a tough question. This division is just so loaded, and we've been talking about it basically every episode that we record somehow turns into, well, the NFC West is brutal, man. And we're experiencing that firsthand the past couple of weeks. This division is just so brutal. You can't have that type of offensive performances and expect to beat a team like Arizona, the last undefeated team in the league. They're top of the division for a reason. They're too explosive. Eventually, the defense is going to break down. I mean, it's just so hard to contain a guy like Kyler Murray and guys like Christian Kirk and DeAndre Hopkins. It just wasn't the fact that we held him to 10 points through the majority of that game was pretty impressive. But I mean, that just kind of speaks volume as to how good this division is, right? I mean, we saw Thursday night, Seattle and Los Angeles played a hell of a game. And then we saw last week, Seattle, gave us a hell of a game as well and beat us. And then now we go all the way out to Arizona, our second home, and we almost come up with a big time W there. But I mean, moving forward, I'm pretty thankful that this is the bye week. But I mean, moving forward, what do we do at the quarterback position? Would you like to see Jimmy Garoppolo get another chance in week 6? Or what do we see, or week 7, actually, what do we see moving forward at the quarterback position from the Niners?
That is a great question, because there was a report that came out today, I believe it was Ian Rappaport that said it, that the Niners do plan on starting Jimmy Garoppolo regardless of what today's result was. Now, if you look at today's game, I guess the question is, did Trey Lance do enough to keep Jimmy Garoppolo from coming back on the field? And I don't think he did. I mean, Trey had his moments, but overall, like, would you call that a good game by Trey Lance? Where would you rank that game? In fact, if we have to put a letter grade on that, C? I'd probably give it a C. Yeah, I mean, he was not a completely accurate passer. I think he had like 3 balls tipped at the line. And then that early pick, I think that was where his decision-making came into play, because you had a wide open lane to run for the ball. And that's where it's like, well, dude, your athleticism is partially why people want to see you on the field so much. You had at least 10 to 15 yards potentially just to be had there. Throws the ball too high, sails over Travis Benjamin. By the way, why is Travis Benjamin seeing so much playing time? That's another big question mark here that I'm looking at Kyle on. And that's where, like, do we keep playing him just to get that experience? What do you kind of like look at there? It's no, I want to see us at least try and attempt to maybe steal one of these wild cards. It's still very wide open here in the conference. Now you come off the bye week, you face Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a team you could potentially beat. So if you have the opportunity to win that game, I would at least like to see you go out there and try to win it with the best team that you could potentially put out there. And I think the best team you could potentially put out there is with Jimmy Garoppolo on the field. Trey Lance in that game against a rough defense like Indianapolis, it would definitely be a test. It would definitely be a measuring stick there. But I want to see the Niners try and get as much out of the season as they can. And I don't want to just see us pack it in and let 2021 just be it. We're just moving on to a transitional year there. No, I would like us to at least attempt to make a playoff run here as long as we can. And if we get eliminated, if we're already at that like week 8 mark, week 9 mark, and we only have like 3-4 wins, okay, then we could just kind of like pack it in, just see what we could get out of the remainder of the season from Trey Lance and whoever else we could throw out there who was going to be on the 2022 team.
No, you actually bring up a great point there. The season isn't lost, Faithful. I mean, as bleak as these past 3 weeks have seen, Green Bay is a really good team. We should have beaten Green Bay. Jimmy Garoppolo gave us the victory against Green Bay, against a Super Bowl contending team. We just weren't able to hold, the greatness of Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, against Seattle, we had the pretty massive injury to Jimmy Garoppolo. And then in this game, we only lost by a touchdown. I mean, the season is not over by any means at all. I don't think it's crazy to say that the Niners could still play for a wild card spot here. That's still in play. Look around the league. There's a lot of 2 and 3 teams around the league, especially in the NFC. Carolina went down today. New Orleans got a big win, but I mean, they're still only 3 and 2. I mean, so if you look around the league and you look at the standings around the league, especially in the NFC, it's not out of the question that the Niners definitely still have a chance here. So I'm with you on that one as well. If I think Jimmy Garoppolo right now at this, structure of the year, the way he's looking early on in the year, I think he just gives you the best chance of winning week in and week out. And I think Kyle Shanahan knows that, which is why Kyle Shanahan was speaking as if, throughout in the middle of the week when Kyle Shanahan was talking about the quarterback situation, he was talking in terms of if Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy enough to play, he's going to be the starting quarterback. Now you give him 2 weeks to recover from that calf injury. And I think we do absolutely see him against Indianapolis, because that's going to be basically a must-win game, I believe. If you go down 2 and 4, then it's going to be really, really tough to get back into the playoff race. But, you win this game against a very beatable Indianapolis team, you're 3 and 3 and you put yourself right back into the picture. So yeah, I agree. I even think if Jimmy Garoppolo plays today, I honestly think we win the football game, but that's near there. But I really want to see this Niners team not give up. I don't want this to be, like you said, a transition year, and hopefully we could make a run here for a wild card spot.
All right, Niners faithful. Well, drop a below in the comments. What do you think was the biggest thing that impacted us in today's game? We want to know kind of like your input, how you kind of viewed things, who you think should start after the bye week. What do you think the Niners should just do the rest of the year? I know that we have a lot of question marks there. That's one of the biggest things that we need to answer. Leave a like on this video, of course, helps us get out there to more Niners faithful, helps us get out there to more Niners fans. And, we just kind of want to talk this season with you guys as much as we can. Anyway, hit that subscribe button. Juju Talk Sports, Jose Carrell. We will see you next time.
Hey!